Okay. Okay, so in today's class, we're continuing from the renewal of the mind, and all this information just finished just before this. It just came in, and I just typed it out, and then I'm presenting it to you so that you can become the deliberate creator that you are meant to be. You can experience your birthright of joy and creativity in this beautiful Mother Earth, this planet that we live on. And it is the most beautiful planet in all of the creation. But it's the most difficult planet to live on too, because we have free will. But it's also, you can clear your karma, which is just trapped energy. And right now, we're moving into the new 5D world. And so all of the karma is left behind. So we're starting new, brand new from scratch. And we can't use the old paradigm and the old concept, the old structures to build a new world. So we are together unfolding this new world and learning as we go. And I don't like the word program, although we are in a simulation and we're running on a program, but we get to choose what we want that to be for us. And so that's what the new mind is about, because we're shifting from the mind of a consumer, the mind of a body that's programmed in character, to the mind of a creator and the body that's programmed in presence, so that you can shift, move your energy at will with the use of your mind-body instrument and create what it is that you desire. And currently, everyone is stuck in that polarity of survival, and our cells are programmed in character, like I am my body and the thoughts in my head are me. And we are shifting out of that, because you're not your body, you're not your emotions, you're not the thoughts, the narrative in your mind. You are spirit, the presence of love, having a human experience. And we're moving out of the realm of duality, of relativity, into heart-based unity consciousness. And the new paradigm is love, abundance, and cooperation, and joy, and bliss, and happiness, and fun. Not that this isn't fun too, but now we get to choose. Okay, so I'm going to create, well, first of all, I'm going to create heart-brain coherence, so that we can all get on the same wavelength and resonate with each other. And we have extreme power in this space. We're creating a morphogenic field, which is tenfold or more of us together. And so we can clear a lot of the collective in this experience right here. And so we need to do that by connecting our hearts. And none of this is meant to trigger anyone. And I'd like a new word for trigger. Somebody give me a new word for that. Let me know, because I need to get we need to get that word out of our language too.
Indicator.
Indicator. Thank you, Maj. Yes, if anybody has an indicator that makes them feel uncomfortable in their body and in their mind, contact me. I don't want anyone to leave here feeling left incomplete. And
another word, Beth, might be reactor or a reaction.
No, I don't think so. Thank you, Faye Marie. I'm sorry. Thank you. I don't know. How does that feel? That feels like a low vibration for me.
Okay, yeah. I'm just thinking kind of a knee-jerk,
yeah,
as opposed to the word trigger. I personally think the word trigger is pretty accurate, because it's like a knee-jerk.
Yeah, but we're moving out of that and we're moving into 5D. And so the vibration of the word trigger, it makes me contract. It makes my body like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so does anybody else get that? Does anybody else feel that?
Is there the same thing in 5D?
No, we need to change our language. This is huge because the words that we speak determine the patterns of our neural network. And so we have to change our language and get rid of these low vibrational words. Those words, the thoughts are connected to the words, which are connected to the programming in our body and our neural network. So we need to change our language. And that will probably be next week. Zena?
Just wanted to add, I deal with triggers all the time with my trauma recovery group. And one of the things that we look at is what has caused you to jump into the past and out of the present. So what a trigger does is it takes you back to some event, right? It takes you out of the presence. So what we try to do is I teach him to take the word reactive, take the C out of it, is see the event that it did, put the C in the front of the word and start to become creative instead of reactive. So what it is we're trying to keep you present. And
Yeah.
a trigger a trigger or reaction will take you back to what cooks you.
I just want a new word that I can incorporate into my language that isn't the word trigger, because that's the word trigger is triggering people. And so I like that, Raj, Indicator, and Zena. Thank you.
Well, this just a reminder to stay in the present, because I think really the reactive part that makes us go back is what leaves us from the realm that we need to stay in, which is the present.
Exactly. And so when I say the word trigger, people are triggering out of the present. And so I don't want to say the word because it actually triggers people out of the present. They get triggered. And we've been talking about that lately, and I've been watching my body, observing the responses, and it definitely does. I can feel a contraction. And so I'm trying to I'm changing my language. And so I can speak words that don't cause people to get out of the present, and so I can keep them present. So, okay, thank you.
Well, and if I could add another layer to that. So what we do is I asked him to look at what that did. Where did it take him? And who showed up to help him in it, which is what we call a protector part. And we named that protector part that shows up to take over when you think you can't. So trying to keep people in their own driver's seat and staying present and making their own choices and creating their new future instead of looking for broken parts in past to create, or just to go back out, you're going out of your timeline is what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. And so I'm trying to keep people on the new timeline, or the timeline that they choose. And so when I use the word trigger, it triggers people back into the old timeline. So I'm trying to incorporate new language. So yes, okay. Okay, so and if whatever, only take what resonates with you in this. If it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. It isn't for you, and maybe it will be, and maybe it's not. It doesn't matter. But never blindly believe anything. That's what's gotten to us to where we are in this place today. Now, I mean. Okay, so let's gain heart rate and coherence. And do I have permission to connect with everybody? Yes, if I do, raise your hand, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, and what we're going to do to gain heart rate coherence, we are going to breathe in the deep belly breath to the count of 4, hold it to the count of 8, and then exhale to the count of 8. And the elongated exhale resets your autonomic nervous system back to neutral. And when we're doing this, put your hand on your heart. That's a somatic touch. That's a language. Okay. If you can't shift your energy to create an elevated state to raise your vibration, use a memory in your mind, a good memory that you can associate into to raise your vibrational state. And then we're going to gain coherence in that state. And smile when you're doing it. That's a body posture. Okay, so as I'm walking you through it, you're going to put your hand on your heart, smile, think of a memory that can elevate your vibration, and do the breathing. Okay, and then I'm going to just do the cellular upgrade at the end of it while you guys are still breathing. I'm going to talk. Okay. Okay. So pull up your memory and smile. And we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you continue. O great Spirit, the source of all creation. Thank you. Thank you for this sacred space, this space of love and unity, that we may co-create with thee beauty, perfection, radiance, joy. We are here to learn and grow, and we are reunited, remembering that we are one. Oh, my beautiful body, my radiant, beautiful body. I am so deeply in love with thee. Thank you for the gift of your vehicle for experiencing. Upon division, signal change, signal growth and digestion, signal health and well-being. Create telomerase to protect our telomeres. Signal vibrance, signal radiance, count only every other year. I love that we are strong and healthy. I love that we have great endurance and flexibility. I love that you only consume the exact amount of nutrition and calories that we need to maintain perfect health. I love that you dispel all other substances that are not necessary for maintaining a perfect health. We resonate with the vibrations of love. We resonate with the vibrations of health and well-being. We resonate with the vibrations of light. We resonate with the vibrations of life. We resonate with the vibrations of health and well-being. We resonate with the vibration of the iron core crystal of our Mother Earth. We resonate with the vibrations of the telluric realm, the realm of the elements by which our bodies are created. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We commune with thee in our open hearts in this beautiful space, the space of love. And we intend to heal the collective, to dispel and transmute all of the negative energy. Yes, to kindle the beautiful experiences in the field, the beautiful possibilities, the beautiful potentials that we desire. Thank you. And so it is. Okay. 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 So today I'm going to share with you the information that just came in before this last couple hours. And I typed it all out this time. I'm getting better. I'm more organized. I still have a ways to go, but I'm going to share this first. And then Okay, can you guys see that? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the practice to reprogram your unconscious mind. And this is generalized, and there's a lot of tools we can use in each section of this outline. And there are many of you in here that have beautiful tools that can be shared to help complete each transaction of this process, such as mindfulness practices, sound healing, meditation. There's so many of them. And so it would be amazing if you guys have time and you are interested to have a class and post it in the group and send out the Zoom links, what you're presenting, your gift, because we need, people don't have money and they don't have the information for this. And so I love that we can spend 2 hours a week or an hour, however, and give freely. And then people can learn and integrate it into their lives. And then also people can then come to you outside of this group and then work with you individually. So the practice for reprogramming the unconscious mind. And if this is going too fast or if it's confusing, please stop me. I can't really see you guys raising your hand in here. So I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but somebody will tell me, or just open your mic and talk, please. Okay, so the first, last week we did, or 2 weeks ago, we did the renewal of the mind. Okay, so we went through the dimensions of the mind. And this is now how to put the mind into practice for daily living. And it's essential that you practice this with this mind. And it's essential that you do, like Faye Marie and I, the other day, we did improv. And so we practiced speaking in 5D language, translating 3D to 5D language. And maybe we'll do that next week or something. It's really fun. That way you can recognize when somebody speaks, you can hear 2 different languages being spoken. And then you can use the language of 5D and integrate the language into the new mind and into your new experiencing. So first, to put the new mind into practice that those of you have created in the past, and if you didn't do that, I will provide for you the information and you can do that. And then use that, the mind, after that process, and then use that mind to integrate into these tools. So the first one is to recognize that you are not the mind. You are the conscious awareness that observes the mind. And I will provide this for you guys. I'll put it in the group. Everything outside of you is a manifestation of your unconscious mind. And you are the awareness that's observing it. You are watching your own projected dream, which are manifested using symbolic patterns rendered on the whiteboard of your mind. Unknowingly, we have imprisoned ourselves in the mind as we have used it as our identity. So that your mind, you're not your mind. Your mind is a whiteboard, okay? And you are rendering a symbol on the whiteboard, a concept. And we talked about that in the renewing the mind to create a symbol. And that mind, then the brain translates that into language. And then the language, we use that for experiencing. And so we've identified ourselves as I am my mind. I am the thoughts in my mind. I am the narrative running through my mind. I believe what it says. When it says you're a horrible failure, all those things. Oh my gosh, I'm a horrible failure. None of that is you. Not any of that is you. That is a narrative running through your mind, and it's programming, and you get to choose the thoughts that are running through your mind, the pictures, the concepts for your experience. So they're not you, and you have to create a space between you, the awareness, and the thoughts so you can observe them. And that's what meditation is for. There's other ways too, but meditation is amazing. That's how I did it. I just, laying down, closing my eyes and meditating and watching them. And they'd be like little arguments from 10 years ago going in there, and just, it was ridiculous. It was hilarious because it became so clearly obvious that it wasn't me, which was a relief because, oh my gosh, you guys, my mind was a place you did not want to go at nighttime or daytime. It was bad in there, man. I'm telling you what. Whoa, don't know. You would not go there. And I thought that was me. Now it's hilarious that I ever even thought that was me. None of that was me. It was a running narrative based off my programming my cells, based off from school, religion, all of those. They teach us to, respect authority and all of that stuff. None of that was me. It's all programming. And it almost killed me. Seriously, it almost killed me because I believed it was me and I was hurting myself because I hated myself because I thought that was real. And so in my process of changing or using my new mind, I watched the thoughts that came in, and they would be, I would just look at them and they were all negative, and I would just observe them. I wouldn't attach to them emotionally, and I wouldn't use them in my story. And I would just say, go to bed, go take a nap. And I didn't want to be mad at them because then I'm creating another, that's the ego. And that ego is very, very deceptive. And so I just would not get mad at them. I would just watch them kind of float by. And that took a lot of awareness, staying in the present and being aware that I am not my thoughts, because it's so easy for us to, when we go out around other people who are in all of this programming, we just get immediately sucked back in. And because we resonate with their frequency, with their vibration. And so then we're right back in the programming. And then I think I'm my thoughts, and I'm running all day like a zombie, using somebody else's mind, not the mind I want, and not the thoughts that I want. And at first it was really when I realized what was happening, because my consciousness is now over here. It's not in here anymore. I'm looking mostly from over here. And it was, I couldn't figure out what was happening. And then I started having missing time, and I'd have real clarity at home. And then I would go out amongst other people and like this in the stores, and everybody's vibrating on that low. So I would just get sucked back in. And then I'd come home and it would be like 4 hours would be missing. And I was panicking. I thought I was going crazy. And I finally realized that I'm sliding in and out of the programming. And so I then made it a point I was going to stay awake and aware. And so I did it 100%. And it was exhausting, but within about 4 months, I was completely had reprogrammed everything. And all those thoughts, now when they come in, because it's a frequency, right? If they're right here, I don't know why, but they're right here. And I can catch them before they even, and I see them, and I'm just like, and they just go. The other day, I'm telling you this is going to be funny. The other day I was doing something and I noticed, and there was like a little argument going over here, and it's so hilarious. This is how deceptive this thing is. And I am like, it was a picture of me standing looking down at my gravestone, okay, and it had my name, and I just recently got divorced from a wonderful man that I love that just has lots of trauma. And so it was, his last name was on there. And I was like, oh, hell no, that's not me. And I was like, and I saw this whole thing going on and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, what? Go away. And it just like floated away. That's how like strong this is, you guys. This will pull you in. It wants to get you back down where it can control you. These frequencies, the vibration, it is mind control. It's mind control. And so I want to control my mind. And if you want to control yours and choose the thoughts that you want for your story, you need to be very aware of what's going on in there. So you can change it and not attach to it. When you attach to it emotionally, you fuel it into manifestation. Okay, and then step 2 is to recognize that you are not your thoughts. We just went over that. The narration running through your mind, you have conscious choice of which thoughts you desire to use as a narration in your dream. You narrate the minds of others whom you cast roles for in your dream also. The dream exists only in the mind. It does not exist anywhere outside of you. Thoughts are invisible, not tangible, and are produced by the brain, which translates the concepts and symbols into a narrative text relative to your self-created dream. So everything out here is a projection of your unconscious mind, and you are narrating, not just you, but the other people in your dream. So you are casting other souls, other people in the roles of your play, of your dream, and you are creating an identity for them, which is not the identity they have of themselves, but one that you're creating of them. And then you are narrating what they're saying too. And some amazing things that you can do, which what I do is, this is an example, when my husband and I were going to the mediator, and I wanted this to be a beautiful experience because he's not a bad person. And so for 3 nights in a row, I envisioned the mediator experience, and I was there and he was there and the mediator, and I did all 3 of us of the narration. So I said this, he said that, the narrator said this. I did the whole conversation. I felt it, fully associated in it, and it was beautiful. I did the same thing the next night, and then the 3rd night, and then that next day we went to the mediator, and it was exactly what I created. Exactly. And I had created it. I felt it. I was it for him, the narrator, me, and it was beautiful. It ended up being extremely beautiful. And he's a beautiful soul. He's on his soul journey too. That's where he's at. And so that's how powerful you are. We all are. That's how powerful we are. So remember, when you are projecting your dream, if you are not clear and seeing the other person, you are seeing your own projected dream, okay? So you don't even see the other person. And that was really disconcerting, to say the least, that after 36 years of marriage, I had no idea who this person was. And the last 3 years, I was trying to reconnect and befriend him, but it was impossible. Well, it wasn't impossible. I was trying, he wasn't ready. But I realized I didn't even know who he was. I was responding or reacting to my own projection the entire time. And he was too. And I, considered myself unlovable. And he considered himself unlovable. So we were like this for 36 years, trying to love each other, but we wouldn't allow it. And we were only just reacting to our own projections. So we couldn't come together. And so I became clear and he wasn't. And so I changed. And so we weren't doing that dance anymore. And his whole reality started falling down because I wasn't projecting back to him who he needed me to, because we let those outside of us define us, and it was too much for him. And but that's what we're doing all the time, and people are not realizing. We think that it's the other person. Nothing is about the other person. It's always about you. You came into this experience alone, and you will leave this experience alone. So everything that's happening to you is about you. And if you are having an indicator in your mind and your body that doesn't feel right, that's about you. That's about you. And the best way to clear that is to sit down and talk about it with yourself, think about it, feel about it, and then with the other person. Because these are gifts that we can use if we are aware and if we are ready to grow ourselves. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I don't even know who that person was 5.5 years ago. I have no idea who. It seems like a million years ago. Like I barely can cognize any of that. There's no emotional attachment. I even sat and tried to like re-feel all that. It's just gone. And so it has all been redeemed through the process of this undoing, unlearning, and remembering the truth, and then embodying it in my mind, body, and soul. My heart opened, and I get to experience from my truth. Okay, so the third one is to recognize that you are not your body. We are not our body. Your body is a biological computer, an instrumental gift provided from the body of our divine mother, Earth. It's our personal kingdom, which we receive as a precious gift and should be cared for with the utmost respect. We cannot receive the gift of experiencing life in feeling without it. It's to be honored and adored, as it is the kingdom we seek. Our cells are programmable, and they hold the data of the unconscious mind. They are currently programmed in character, meaning that its projections are that of identifying ourselves as being the body, not the awareness experiencing through the body. Our body is a magnificent biological computer. The computer sitting in front of you was created from the body. This is the computer. That is the manifestation of the body, our computer. And the body is and the body is actually the manifestation, the computer manifested from the spirit, and this is the computer manifested from the body. And our body is made up of the same elements as everything else, the same elements of the soil, and it is self-healing. We are self-healing. I was dying 5.5 years ago. I spent so much time in bed after 2 major accidents. I spent 2.5 years in a hospital bed. So no one can tell me that it can't be done. And I got off 15 medications. I just climbed a mountain in Colorado. I was in a wheelchair, walking with a cane. It was hell that I was living in. And I changed my thoughts, and I reprogrammed my cells, and I have completely healed. I am completely renewed. And my body is doing a lot more changing recently. I can feel these shifts going on in my biology, and it's been really interesting, especially the last probably week. There's a lot of things happening with all these energies coming in, and maybe you guys are experiencing some of that too. But it's really cool. And I've had times where I'm in meditation and I feel something moving. It's like something's moving my organs, and it's telling me, just be still, we're working on you. And so it's shifting energy, and I could feel the energy leaving my body. And that started probably about 3 years ago, when I was really working on healing my body. And so I just called in my guides and my guardians of equal or higher vibration to come and help me, and they have. And I just got another huge upgrade this past week. I get chills all over my body. And so ask. They can't come without you asking, because you have free will. And always ask of equal or those, my guides and my guardians, of equal or higher vibration, who have my best interest in mind. And invite them into your space, and they'll come. And you might not even be aware of it, but as you go and awaken and unfold and raise your vibration, you will become more aware of those things happening, because we're connected all the time, whether or not we know it or not. We just are not aware, because we think we're a body, not the awareness. And so all of this is this is so deep. Has so many layers, but it's not necessary for you to know all of that right now. This is learning how to use your computer, your body-mind computer, with your new identity as the awareness, as presence. All right, let's see here. Oh, and the earth, our Mother Earth. I'm so in love with my Mother Earth. Yeah, she saved me as a child. And I know that was for you too, Zena. I lived in the woods as a child, rarely came home, as little as possible. And the trees were my family. And I grew up on a horse, spent my whole childhood on a horse. They were what was safe. And so I became very connected at an early age for reasons of survival. And when you raise your vibration, the trees talk to you. It's really cool. They talk to you. Everything is talking to you all the time. It's just gaining the awareness and raising your vibration to the vibration of the trees. I mean, I get to experience the sky because I am in the same vibration of the sky, and so I can feel it in this body. And it's amazing. We are multidimensional, supernatural, and we're moving into that. And so get ready. You're gonna have your mind blown. Well, you could blow the 3D mind and get the 5D mind. Okay. Does anybody have any comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to add.
Okay. Thank you.
So how I heard the trees as a child was I didn't have the language. So sometimes just staying present with them and believing that they have something for you, and saying, just allowing it in, you will receive from them. It's just allowing.
Yes, allowing and believing that it's real, right? And I think maybe like you, Zena, everything for me is feeling. And so it's translating the feeling into language, which sometimes is a barrier for me because I only ever experience in feeling. And people will say, well, do you know that person? And they look so-and-so. And I'm like, no, I don't see that. I don't see color. I don't see shapes. I feel. And so like people will talk about like so-and-so in a film, like a movie, you know, this actor, and I'm like, you give me a name, I have no idea. I just, that's not where it works. My brain works in feeling energy, and that's how my mind works now too. So, and the feeling is actually all of our senses are feeling, like vision, hearing, taste, it's all feeling. I just don't receive it in visuals. And a lot of these practices where you have to look, where it's saying, like you'll see a color when you, I'm gonna bring it up at the end. And Cece, I know you asked me a question about that earlier, and it's like, well, I don't have good visuals, and because I don't see the color, I can't see the picture. Well, you don't really need to, because you can feel the color yellow. You can feel the picture. I don't get visual so much. It's all feeling. And so at first that was holding me back a little bit because I couldn't really understand it. Like I could feel it, but I thought I had to see it, but you don't. You can feel the color yellow. You can feel the color red. You can feel a horse. You don't have to see a picture of it. And it's all feeling. Go ahead, Zena.
I just wanted to add, so if you would like to see it, ask to see it. Ask for enlightenment, for your spiritual eyes to be open. And like for me, I don't see it 3D, but it's kind of like when I first close my eyes, I get a flash, a picture flashes in front of me, and I had to ask for it.
Yes, yes. I do get, like, it's for me, it's like a negative, maybe. Like the old camera negatives, that's what it is. It's like a negative. And so I get, yeah. And so I can see that, but it's, yeah, it's like a negative. It's not like full blown live color. Yeah. Yeah, you'll see some really weird things too. Okay, I'm going to move on. Okay. Okay, the fourth one is recognize that you are not your feelings. Feelings are of the body. They are chemical processes triggered into production. Well, gotta change that word. By the narrative in the mind. So thoughts create feelings in the body. They instruct the body on what state to produce, what energetic state to produce. Okay, it's the mind that instructs the body on which energetic state to produce. The body desires only to render the soul's expression in the mind as it's instructed to. It honors the mind as it's the mental posture of the soul's desire. So what's in our mind, which rendered, is a posture. Everything is a posture. It does not think or discern. It renders what it's instructed to. When the conscious mind is lost in thought and focused outward on the dream, the unconscious mind is defining reality. It uses old pre-programmed data from the past to render a somatic energetic state for defining and experiencing the realized dream. It cannot discern the true experience in the now, as its data is of the past, and it does not think or discern. It receives the sensory data from the environment and uses old comparative data to formulate an energetic state for experiencing. Because all the data is based on the past, we are recreating only the past. The somatic memories of experiencing are stored in the DNA in our cellular structure. So when the conscious mind is offline, because nobody's in the now, creating only happens in the now, life only happens in the now, in presence, we are lost in what we're going to cook for dinner, or like somebody got mad at me 10 years ago, whatever it is, I got to get the kids, all this stuff. Your unconscious mind becomes your conscious mind because you're offline, and it is doing the defining of reality for you. And all of its information is based on the past. So we are reacting the past. And so you get out of a relationship. This is just an easy one. And oh my gosh, that horrible person. And like, oh, I'm so glad I'm done with that person. And then you go into another relationship, and 3 years later, you're like, what the hell? I'm in this. I got another one of the same person. It's got a different face, but it's the same person. Well, that's you creating your experience. We're just recreating the past over and over and over and over. Nobody's ever been able to move past it and move into the future because we are creating on default. We are creating unconsciously. And so the body becomes the conscious mind. And it is all based on the past. And it has all of your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, all of that in there also. All the lineage, all the trauma experiences, all the reactive, all the old information. We are still like running from the tiger in the jungle. That's how old the information is. Oh my gosh. It just said you're still running from the tiger. It's just a cement tiger, which is true. Yeah, we just turn on TV and you'll have PTSD in 10 minutes. So I suggest you don't watch TV. Anybody, it's TV programming. Remember, it's a programming. You're watching a TV program. When you are watching TV, you go into a state of hypnosis. You've just seen it where you're trying to talk to someone and they're just so zoned into the computer or the TV, they don't even hear you. So they're completely just in a hypnosis, and the TV is programming you. And it's been doing it for a long time. And radio shows. And we are currently in a state where there are numbers of people dying flashed on the screen, like constantly. And so we are in fight and flight all the time. We are, seriously, I'm so serious, you guys. This is not a joke. That is PTSD. That is what that's creating. And of course, you get to live how you choose. But if you want to shift out of this 3D reality, well, we already are shifting out, but change it so you can be a deliberate creator, you need to turn that stuff off. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be aware of what's going on and just gather information and just put it in your hat and gather information and put it in your hat and comparative, but don't wear it, don't attach emotions to it, because you are actually creating it. You're creating it. So there's a lot of people right now with everything that's going on, and of course it's understandable why, but they don't realize that by watching all of that, they are creating it, because it's keeping them in the program. And the TV's doing your thinking for you. It's triggering, it's indicating responses in your body that are fight and flight. And the fight and flight response, it takes away our ability to think. We can't think and discern for ourselves when we are in fight and flight, because none of our energy goes to the mind. And the fight and flight, the hormones of fight and flight, they destroy the body. They constant state of that. It breaks down we don't create telomerase, so it breaks down the telomeres at the end of the chromosomes, and they become frayed, and that's when we age. And of course, then all the fear shows up in the body as cancers and other illnesses. So all of that is mind created, and the TV has become the mind. It's programming the mind. And be really beautiful to turn it off and go off outside in the woods. It's the most amazing energy out there. Just go stand by a tree and just be for a little while. Or your whole life will change. If you make that a habit, make that a priority in your life. Make you a priority in your life. Self-love and self-care is walking in the woods. It's having a soulful conversation with a friend. It's creating a safe space so we can be real. Okay. Okay, so we need to, so the cells, so you're not your feelings. They are alchemical reactions in the body to create an internal state that matches your thinking and the projected dream. And number
Beth?
5, yes.
Hey, Beth, Faye Marie put in the chat, and
Mhm.
she asked if you would discuss what you said about telomerase.
Sure.
Thank you.
Telomerase, yes. Thank you, Faye Marie. I can't see. Yeah. Telomerase is when we are in the mode of growth and digestion and health and well-being, our body produces telomerase, and it is for health. It is for maintaining vitality. It is for maintaining the DNA. The DNA is a blueprint, and so if our blueprint wears out, then the cells are creating distorted. We're distorted when they're being created. And so when we're in fight or flight, the body doesn't create telomerase. And at the ends of the chromosomes, there's little caps, like a shoelace cap, not the little plastic thing on the end of the shoelace. And so those get worn off, and then the end of the DNA gets frayed. And so when the RNA is creating from the blueprint of the DNA, the pattern is distorted, and the DNA actually wears out, and that's aging. That causes aging, and that causes illness, and the body is breaking down from all those fight-flight hormones. They destroy your body. So yeah, so telomerase is really important, and that's why when I do my the cellular upgrades, and I talk to my body every morning, every night, and I always instruct it to create telomerase, to protect the telomeres. It's really important.
Hey, Beth, can I just put a plug in? There's a gentleman
Yes.
by the name of Bruce Lipton. He's actually an expert on cells and viruses, and he has some incredible YouTube videos where he talks about telomerase creation, telomerase deterioration, and the impact it has on the cells and aging, like Beth was talking about. So if you guys are interested, I'll put his name in chat. And I also know that there's somebody here who happens to be a close personal friend. Maybe they can get you more information. But Bruce Lipton, he's amazing. He's one of the few people out there. He's a doctor, but he's not the robotic doctors that basically just do what they're taught. He's really, in my opinion, one of the more awakened people on Earth today, helping people come to the realization of the power within them. So quick plug for Bruce Lipton there.
Yes, we love Bruce. We love Bruce. We were with him just a few weeks ago, actually, in Jacksonville. And Beth met him and told him that he had saved her life. And I introduced them. I traveled with him in the early 2000s. And yeah, well, we're Bruce fans. We love him dearly. And everything you spoke is just powerfully true. And so I'm do a ditto plug for Bruce.
Yes, He is amazing. And there's so many other also. Joe Dispenza's, he helped
Yes.
save my life too, but and Greg Braden. And anyway, but I have to tell you this: the first time I met Faye Marie was in the Visionary program, and that beautiful program that I love. And at the end of the program, she was talking about Bruce Lipton, and I was like, "What? You know Bruce Lipton? Are you kidding me? You are going to take me to meet Bruce Lipton?" And we just laughed. I never know her. And now she lives with me. So I said we're going to manifest this. That's what we said in that day. And then she called and we were talking, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to see Greg Braden in November. You want to come with me?" And so she came down here, and and then she ends up, now she's living with me and we're doing this together. And so the day before we were going to see Greg Braden, we found out Greg Braden was sick. And so who did we get to see? Bruce Lipton. So the universe set that up for us. It was amazing. We're powerful manifestors, for sure.
Yes, we are.
Yes. All right. And 5. Did I do the feelings? Okay, 5. Recognize that you are not your emotions. Emotions are the feelings of the alchemical processes of the body, which we use as a language for communicating and defining reality. They are labels or definitions we use for experiencing our dreamt reality. Without defining emotions, we would not know what we are experiencing. Our emotional language interprets our dream somatically. Without our defined somatic experiences we label as emotions, our dream would be without meaning. The emotional feelings are the gifts of experiencing in form. We may then not only observe a dream, we are fully immersed in the dream through somatic sensations. We have the power to redefine these somatic sensations we have labeled good or bad at any time. We must be conscious and present in the blessed moment of now to do so. Maintaining the state of awareness in the present, you have the power to reprogram or reparent the cellular data we label the unconscious mind. And Raj, I remember in the other program, and you had said something, I think, to Jonathan, and you said, "Why don't we just redefine the emotion or choose another emotion?" And when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited, because that's really is that simple. It really is that simple. You can redefine an emotion, which then redefines your reality. So if you have this feeling, you thought this feeling is anxiety, then that's what you're going to experience in your reality, right? Because you're you're labeling it. And so as this process, I just said, well, no, I'm not going to call it that anymore. I was changing my language and changing my thinking and changing my state of being. And so I just chose to call it, well, my vibration is low and I need to raise my vibration. And so I didn't put these labels on it, like of anxiety or fear or anger. I just said, oh, my vibration is low. I'm out of alignment. And so I would just pull myself back, and I had some tools that I could use to do that. Well, the tools aren't in this. And I just changed the definition of it. And sometimes when I was feeling it, like I had this experience with my ex-husband. He was here a few weeks ago, and it was really sad, but it was so beautiful. And I remember when it was happening, and I thought, wow, like somebody else could have really, really, really labeled this as horrible and what a, you know, all this negative and blaming and all that stuff. And I didn't. First of all, I don't label him as any of those things, because I know he's a soul having his own experience in his journey. I know who I am, so I know who he is. And so as he was leaving, it was felt like I was losing my child, because he's loved just as I'm loved. And so he belongs to me. but I know that he wasn't ready to awaken his horrible trauma. He was in the Cambodian genocide, and so there was no way. Of course, you can't ask someone to look at that. Of course, we can't never ask anyone to look at anything. We're just here for ourselves. But it was one of the most beautiful experiences I have ever had in my life, because I chose to experience it that way, because I chose to label or define or experience the emotions that I was feeling in my body as love, as beautiful, as I'm sending my child out into the world to do some more experiencing, because you're not ready, when really all I just wanted to do is bring them back and say, no, you're okay, and let me help you find out who you are. And that wasn't possible, because he's on his own experience. So I got to label that how I wanted to in this experience, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful and healing. And there were some people here, Kramer was here, and I was in my own little world, and it was really beautiful that they were able to experience it that way too. And I wasn't thinking about them, but afterwards they were just like, oh my gosh, and he would have been labeled by society narcissist, and he is not a narcissist. He is a soul having a human experience, and he has massive trauma in this experience and generation. And so it was beautiful. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience it that way, from the new mind and from my truth, from my identity, because I know his true identity. And when he's ready, he will. And have this knowingness that the experience that I had with him was that I created with him was enough pain to get me out of that relationship, so I could have a relationship with myself and a relationship with the divine. And now in my relationship with myself and with the divine, I can help him by creating this wellness center, by clearing the collective. So it's beautiful. Everything can be beautiful if we choose it to be. Okay, so the emotions are their language, and we get to define them and redefine them as we choose. And that takes awareness, again, because if you're not in the present moment, you're just going to go with the old flow and define it as in the programming in the past. Okay, 6, recognize that you are the breath. That is the photonic light of consciousness that is broadcast into the field of experiencing. Awareness is of the breath, which animates the form. The rhythms of breath hold the vibrational frequencies and the correlating data, the light codes, that are picked up through sensory data and transmuted through your mind-body complex and used for manifestation. It is essential to learn proper breathing techniques to stoke the fire in your heart, which animates the instrumental body for manifesting and experiencing. Breathwork is essential and needs to be integrated into daily living to control the vibrational frequencies that create the sounds of life, the sounds of creation, the essence of love, or the essence of fear. You get to choose when you are a deliberate creator. And so we are the breath. We are the breath. We are the light, the breath. Consciousness is broadcast in the field, and it is picked up by our biological computer and experience. And it's the breath that animates the body, that creates the vibration and the somatic experiencing. And it holds the information that is ignited in the DNA, in the programming from which we create, we manifest. And so in the breath work, you are with your breath, you are playing your instrument with your breath. So like a harp, okay? And it'd be like your fingers strumming on the harp. You're the breath. And the flow of the breath and different movements of the breath determines the vibration in your body. And that controls your state of being and the information. Because if I'm on low energy, I can use my breath to anywhere and just stoke the fire in my body using my breath and posture. And within a few minutes, I'm like energized. I'm hardly ever tired. I don't sleep much, and it's amazing. I'm not tired ever. And when you're out of alignment, meaning you're in the low vibration, you realign your breath, your body, your mind, and you are just completely out of, you're in alignment. And so all of those feelings that would have shifted you into the low vibration are realigned. And then you're back to neutral and back to being a deliberate creator. And there's lots of different breath work. We just did it at the beginning of this class, and that's heart brain coherence. So your mind body complex is on the same wavelength, and your frequency is it's coherent instead of static. And a staticky frequency just can't connect with the field. And so we need to have a smooth, coherent frequency. And then when we get out of alignment, we need to gain resilience. So we use our breath to pull us back to neutral into a coherent flow. And there's so many types of breath work. It's essential to integrate that into your life and to learn how to which breath work is used for which state. And any of you who know about that and would love to share that and do a class on that would be amazing, because people need this information. Souls need this information. It is essential because you are the breath. You are the breath. And when we are, when you take a deep breath and you hold it, like we were holding it for those 8 seconds between breaths, you are transcend space and time. And so you're connected with the divine. And that's essential to know for manifesting also. I'm not going to go into that right now, but if anyone has that information, I know you guys we all have so much information. It'd be wonderful to share that as a class, to teach people and to come in here and practice it with me and all of us. And I need you. We need you. We need all of us. We're creating a new beautiful world. And we can't create a new beautiful world by changing the dream. We have to change the dreamer. Okay, number 7. The field of awareness is both your internal and external environment. So there really isn't any division. It feels like there is, but there is no division between your internal and external environment. It's your field of awareness. And when experiencing, we must have constant communication between our internal, unrealized, and our external, realized dream. This is the communication tool for you, the awareness, witnessing and creating your unmanifested and manifested dream. This is your navigational control system to be a deliberate creator You must be consciously aware and present in the now. The present is the only place deliberate manifestation occurs. If you are not in the present and in constant communication between you, the dreamer, and your dream, you are creating on default. Your manifested dream is then produced by the downloaded data in your DNA, which is all based on the past. You must stay aware and aware in the blessed present moment of now to be a co-creator with the divine. This gift is not to be taken lightly, as it comes with great responsibility. You have the power to create heaven or hell, not only for you, but for collective reality. Yes, and I really do. I really don't take this lightly, because my thoughts are manifested almost immediately, and so I could hurt someone. I could hurt myself. I could, and my desire is to heal, is to serve, and to not harm or defile. And so I am very aware of what's going on in my mind. And if I'm not, you need to tell me, please. And I'm serious about that. Because I'm here to evolve my soul, my awareness. And so what I do, what happens within me is that my internal reality is my real reality. And this is, I know from my mind that this is the dream. This is just a reflection. And so when my body is contracted, because my natural state now is fluid and just relaxed all the time. It's amazing. All of my postures, my breath, my emotions, my body are relaxed. And that's through practice. And I live it. You have to live it. Not just speak it and think it, but live it. And so I have practiced for 5 years now. And so I'm in constant communication with what's happening in here and with what's happening out here. And so, and I've integrated with my body. I've embodied my truth. And so my cellular programming and my conscious mind, so my conscious and unconscious are on the same page. And so when I am out of alignment, when my body contracts, I know I'm out of alignment because my natural state is fluid. And so I will immediately go, okay, what's going on? And I'll check inside, because that's my true reality. What's going on? What is my body feeling? Because I'm not my body. What is my body feeling? And so I'll feel it. And I'll, okay, what's going on in the mind? And I'll look at the mind. And if it is something from the past, my programming, mine usually says run, run. And when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh wow, my body is scared. Not I'm scared, my body is scared. And then I'm looking out here, going, well, what is it within me that's going on? Not what's going on out here, what's in it within me that's going on out here. Why is my body, this body, reactive and contracting? And so this is my reflection of my unconscious mind. And so if I want to know what's going on inside me and why, I'm looking out here. And a simple one is, but I'll look into my field of observation, and there will be someone, my thought will be in a negative judgment. And there'll be somebody over there, usually a man, and they're talking really loud. And I'm like, oh yeah, my body is reactive to this loud noise. And so I'm out of alignment because I'm labeling that person as bad. And it's not that person, right? This is me creating it. And so I'm like, oh, wait, that's just in the programming. Nope, we're going to negate that. That's not true. Nope, this person's not bad. This is me reactive because of my programming. And then I calm my body. I put my hand on my heart and I use my breath and I calm it. And then I just raise my vibration. And at first I had to use a memory in my mind, a picture, because I couldn't shift my energy at will. I couldn't raise my vibration at will. And after lots of practicing, it's just automatic now. Just like it's automatic like it is for the old programming that we're getting rid of. And so as you practice it, it's automatic. And so you don't have to be in present awareness, because we can't always be in present awareness. But when you're not in present awareness, then your body is defining as you choose, as you have instructed it to define reality for you when you are not present. And so now my body and I are integrated. In the Bible, it says when the two become one. So when the conscious and the unconscious are on the same page, the gates of heaven open. And so the internal war stopped. And when that happened, my heart just opened and everything connected. And yeah, and then I was connected to my higher self, connected to the divine. And then I started getting all the information and all the downloads, and that was pretty wild because I always thought that was just metaphor, make me a channel of your peace. Well, it was a pretty song. I didn't know it was reality. And it was really interesting, to say the least. At first, it took me a while to believe it was real. And now it's my best friend. It's me. It's my love. It's my divine creator. And love lives me now because I love myself and I know myself to be loved. And I love my temple. And I have programmed my temple as love, as a fortress for love. Okay, and so number 8.
Hey Beth, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
I have to step away from the computer for a little bit. Just want to make sure you know.
Okay, thank you,
Back
Ash.
shortly. Yep.
Sheila, is Sheila still here?
Yes, Sheila's still here.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have her.
I'm
Okay,
here,
Sheila.
yeah.
Just in case someone comes in, I don't see it. Thank you. Okay, and number 8, embodying your truth is a necessity. I just talked about that. We cannot always be in the now as we are engaged in experiencing, which is our desire. Using your renewed mind, created from your own conscious intention, you can reprogram your unconscious mind, your cellular program. You must gain and maintain your identity of awareness in the present moment of now through focused training, mindfulness practices, and there's lots of other practices. Upon being present in the now, using your new identity of awareness, you can monitor the postural dimensions between creating and experiencing, the somatic feelings or postures of the body, the narrative thoughts or postures of the mind, the physical postures or positions of the body, and the rhythmic postures of the breath. Upon observing the internal state and how it correlates with the external witness dream, you have the power to rewrite your cellular programming and return to your natural state of a deliberate co-creator with the divine, essential frequencies of love. You then may experience your true presence in form, as you, the awareness, have become the embodiment of the essence of divine love. All right, that was for all of you.
I think we should all be hooping and hollering and saying hallelujah or something after that. That was profound. Good Lord Almighty, Beth. Wow, that just
Well,
came in today. I mean, that is
just before,
that
but
is that is high, deep, and profound. And thank you, wherever that came from, and you channeled that from the source of all was. I mean, that is knock your socks off stuff.
it is. It's beautiful, and it's available to all of you, and that's what we want. I'm making an assumption, but I think that's what we all want. We want freedom from the programming. We want control back of our own creation. We want to experience. I want to experience joy, and it's so amazing because nothing has changed in my life except that I did get divorced, but I still love him deeply. But my life, I hated my life. Everything, everything. And now, and I realize now it was because I could see what was wrong, because I was stuck in the fight and flight, the negative, the left polarity. I couldn't switch my energy back and forth to experience. And yes, of course there was sometimes, but I couldn't switch it at will. And so I was always stuck in the negative polarity. So I was looking hyper aware, looking for what was wrong, because I was in survival. And so your body is looking for every monster around the corner to make sure it keeps you safe. It loves you, and it desires this whole expression. But when we get into this stuck in this left polarity, its desire, it takes over. It's possession. It possesses us because the unconscious mind becomes the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is offline because our brain is a muscle. We are in low vibration. Nobody has control, and it's practicing and putting these practices into your daily living, and incorporating them into life. Like life, this is life, incorporating it into life. And so I set a schedule and I wrote it down, and when I was changing my mind and I was going in and out of the programming, it scared me. And so what I finally realized, figure out what was happening, and I bought those big, like at the dollar store, and I put signs all over my house so I could stay awake and aware. And I wrote, but I'm still writing in my hand, and black Sharpie, like stay awake. And I had it in my car, I had it everywhere. And people were like, oh my gosh, like, don't you worry about what people think? See all this? I'm like, hell no, I don't care what people think. They don't define me. I'm learning to define me. And if I want my house covered with Eckhart Tolle beautiful sayings, and I'm not my thoughts. My thoughts don't control me. I control my thoughts. I love myself. Yeah, I'm going to put that all over my house, everywhere. I'm going to put it in my car. And I would just, as I was listening to these spiritual teachers and waking up, and once you get on that path, it kind of takes over. Thank God it takes over. Because I just want it out of there, seriously. And all these things start being shown to you, and little by little, and it's a journey. And when you're in it, it seems long, yet progressive. But looking back on it, it was the most beautiful experience ever. The last 5.5 years of my life. I'm actually alive. Because I didn't know who I was all that time. So I was masquerading as someone that I wasn't. So I was in theater. And so now all that stuff that happened, it doesn't seem real at all to me, like at all, because it wasn't me. I was in a play. And so for me, it doesn't feel real at all. I actually can laugh at it now. That I actually thought that I was a little nobody and having this experience, and none of that was me. And so awaken to my true identity and integrating that in my body. So living from presence to the best of my ability in every moment of now is freedom. That's freedom. And we've been in bondage. Our soul, we've been disconnected and been in bondage due to our mind and our body and our lack of awareness, our lack of identity, our disconnect from our source. And so we've been lost and wandering, looking out here to, everybody has this empty feeling. And so we're trying to fill it with people, places, and things, and control the only thing that's permanent, where everything is in constant change. And so we're trying to stop things from changing. And if we want to have control, we don't control the dream. We change the dreamer. We get a new mind, and we embody the mind in the vehicle, and then we get to experience ourselves as love and express ourselves as love to the best of our ability in each moment of now. And this is progress, not perfection. We are perfect already. We are experiencing limited perfection, and for reasons of growth and understanding, of learning, of remembering and evolving. All is the divine knowing itself experientially. All is the divine knowing itself experientially. That means all of you are expressions of love. All of us are expressions of love. And I think we're beautiful. If you saw what I see every time I experience communion with each one of you, never, ever, 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 ever again would you think ill of yourself or anyone else. Never. It wouldn't even be possible. I'm serious. It wouldn't even be possible. Because I only just see radiance and beauty and perfection in all things, in all expressions. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay. Does anybody have any comments or questions before I have a little exercise that I'm going to do before we leave? Sheila.
Yeah, Beth, I was just kind of wondering if there is a particular breathwork exercise that you recommend. Like there's different kinds of yoga techniques and stuff, you know, Kalabadi breath.
You can do, like if you put your fist on your solar plexus right here, and then you breathe. So I stand up, so I have an aligned posture, and then I hold that position, that posture, and then align your body, and then breathe in and out quickly, like that. And you can just feel your whole vibration will raise, and you will just get this burst of energy, and you'll have clarity in your mind and clarity in your body, in your cells. And you can, every morning, like every night, I have a machine now, and you stand up and just jump and shake your body. And it will get the energy. It will help get the energy out, trap energy out of your body. And then I do the heart rate coherence. The first thing upon awakening, with my first flicker of consciousness, I immediately go into affirmations because it's programmed now. So I immediately go into affirmations, and then gratitude, and then I ask, I say, oh, great spirit, thank you for the gift of this beautiful day. Show me who it is that I'm supposed to help today. For I already possess the power to carry that out. I am encompassed in thy love, light, and energy. I am filled with thy essence, and my every pore radiates thee, touching all those who come in contact with today, that they may know you too. And then I set my intention. I run through my day in my mind. So I'm seeing it. So I'm setting it. I know I have to do this today. And then I see myself as fluid in the day. And I see beauty in the pictorial environment of the day. So I go through my day in my mind before I even get out of bed. I can't do it heart rate coherence. It only takes a few minutes because it's automatic. It just is kind of happening. And so then I do that before I even get out of bed. And I look around my room and I give thanks. I say, oh, I love my electricity. I love that I have a toilet. Seriously, I do. I love that I have a toilet. I don't know about you guys, but I do. I just give thanks. Yeah. I love that Faye Marie and Julie are living with me, and Jana and Jill. I love that all of you are my friends and my soul family who have come here to create beauty and remind others of their beauty. And so I do that, and then I go outside and I tune in, and I look to the east and I say, I breathe, and I connect to this divine, as above, so below. And I say, oh, great spirit, thank you for the gift of this day. I am open. Live love through me. I am deeply, deeply, deeply in love with thee. I am in awe of thee and thy creation. Flow through me, live through me. I give myself to thee. And then I go to the earth and I say, I say, good morning, my great mother. I am grounded in the iron core crystal of your heartbeat. My heartbeat are one. I am open. I am a channel, as above, so below. All that I need, all the answers, all the wisdom are within me. Bring to me that which it is that I should know. When I ask, I know that all of my needs will be met. And then I go to the east and I say, oh, great energies of the east, keep me on my path today. Let me know when I'm off, that I might pull myself back. And then go clockwise, go to the south. Oh, great energies of the south, help me not bow to fear today. Keep me safe, so that I may stay on my path. Oh, great energies of the west, show me what it is that I must process and release, so that I don't get weighed down on this journey. And oh, great energies of the north, show me my next challenge, that I may move forward on my journey. And then you commune, the seven of us commune together in my heart with my presence. In this day, lead me, guide me. I am awake and I am aware, and I am present and I listen, and I will follow. Show me the signs and I will be there. And so I tune in, and then I watch nature, and I do. That's, for me, that's focus training. And I just watch. I don't label anything. I just observed. And at first, like the thoughts would come in and I would just push them, go, I'm going to get mad at it. I'm just, no, and I just pull myself back over and over. Now I just can be, and there's nothing in there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to be mindless. And I use a, I have like the Way of the Mastery books and some light language, and I read it a little, and I just digest it and think on it and feel on it. So I'm tuned in. So my day then starts off in a great amount of alignment, and then it's integrated with my body from practicing. So my body tells me when I'm off, and I can pull myself back. And I'm in constant communication between the internal and external. So when something is happening, it's not what's going on out there and who's doing something. It's like, okay, what's going on in here? Because I don't want that in my dream or in my reality. And so I'll go inside and I'll go, change my perception. I'll shift my energy, and then it just changes out here. And when you're doing that on a regular basis, which is the awareness, that's the part that takes most practice. Like, my thoughts are manifested like immediately. If you came to stay at my house, we live in Alice in Wonderland here. It's amazing. I'm serious. Isn't it, Faye Marie? It's so much fun. People are like, I got to get out of here. The energy is way too high. If you got stuff to purge, don't come here because it's going to get squeezed out. Or be really ready. So Veronica, you're coming. I know. Be ready. Because interesting, beautiful things.
We can think. Like this morning, I was thinking, I sure would love to see an eagle, and one appeared right out there. I mean, we look out the window and see 3 eagles out there, and right after we were discussing something. It's magical.
Yeah, we are magical, and that's what we're learning. And who was that? I was working with someone the other day, and it was so beautiful. I could feel her expanding and releasing all this stuff. And as she did, it was on Zoom, but it just flew around my head, and I could feel her just becoming fluid and like flying. And it literally was her just showing up in my reality. It's flying. And I was, and I tell people, look, you're here. And they're like, what? It's so beautiful. And all of us are that. All of us. It's just getting back our gifts, renewing our mind, and embodying our truth in the cells. This is the only time right now. Like, this is a magical time. And all of you are part of this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this right now, where we can be the embodiment of the Christ. Like, truly, like really, we are the embodiment of the Christ. And you are living as the Christ, the Word. Faye Marie, please, can you say that, Faye Marie?
Yes, the living Logos, the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. We were told, as I am, so are you, and greater things than these shall you do, because I go to the spirit place. And that the church has been speaking this for over 2,000 years, the traditional church. We're the body of Christ, we're the Christ, but no one seemed to really understand what that meant. And even the disciples didn't understand it. The first thing they said to him after resurrection was, Master, are you now going to restore the kingdom to Israel? They were still, just as today, looking for an earthly external kingdom as opposed to the kingdom within. So this is who we are. This is who we are. And, we are the Christed ones, the anointed ones. And as we get it and really move into that awareness that this is who we are and start embodying it by these things Beth is speaking of, then literally we walk into the greater things.
Yeah. And I put in the group, I'm just going to pull this up really quick because there is something else I really like to do. So I'm going to do this really quick. And you guys can look at it. Nope, this is the wrong one.
Okay, so while Beth is pulling that up, let me put a plug in for Tool Time. So
Thank
Tool
you.
Time is a class that I put on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And essentially, we're going to go through a variety of tools. Each week, we'll try a different tool. So last week, we did Ho'oponopono, and Ho'oponopono has a whole bunch of tools within it. And we're going to be diving a little deeper into one of those tools. It's called the Labyrinth, Intensifying Intention. So that's what's coming up on Wednesday. Just a quick plug in for it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Raj, so much. Really do appreciate you helping us all. This I did put in the Facebook page, and this is to gain integrity of your field. Okay, so you can do this, like I do this all the time in the morning. If I'm feeling off, this is how I realign myself. And when you practice it, it takes a second. Like you just are doing it internally. You don't have to even think about any of this. And I did put it in the Facebook page, but I have forgotten to put the breath in there. And so this is the power of posture for energetic state control. So it's to create perfect integrity of all your postures, mind, body, breath, all of them. So you're in alignment, and no one then can push you. They can't move your energy. They can't manipulate you with their energy. And this also comes along with, which is I love the distinctions in the visionary program, because these help you become aware of your programming, and then gain integrity of your mind, because thoughts become things. And so when we are projecting a negative thoughts about someone, you are interjecting into their field, and then your field is open. That's when we do unto others, like when we hurt others, we hurt ourselves, because we open our field. And so it's having integrity of all of these postures in alignment. And when you follow this practice, if you're out of alignment, this will help you get back in alignment and create integrity. And I forgot to put the breath on it. And so I'm going to change that in the Facebook group. At the end here, okay, so I'm at number 3. At the end, when you have all of your postures in alignment, to close your field, and you put your hands like that in the praying position, and put it down by your root chakra. Okay, and as you breathe in, and then you hold it, so you hold your breath, so that you are out of space and time, and you're holding your breath. And then with your intention, you are grounding yourself to the heartbeat, the core of you. And then as you pull your arm, you're taking a deep breath in, as you pull your arms up, and then you hold your breath here. And again, you're transcending space and time. And then when you are with your intention, and when you are grounded, then you bring your hands down here, and then your field. And in the field, when you're in your field and you're close, okay, you can feel it in your field. Just use your hands and use your body and feel whether or not you have integrity of your field. And if you don't, then you go to the space in your field that feels weak, and you'll feel it, because you're learning to discern energy what it means and when you're off, out of balance, and imbalance, out of integrity, out of posture, alignment. And so this is a really beautiful practice. It's in there. I am going to put the updated one because I forgot to put the breath in there. But you can take this with you and use it anywhere to create alignment of your field. And then there's also James.
Yes. Are you
Yes. Hello, handsome.
hello,
I'm gonna
fire.
play a video of him, and this is, I do this too, which I haven't told anybody because people. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. So I do this at home, in my home, and what this does, it's been just getting stronger and stronger, and it is creating. So both sides of your brain are in sync. So both sides of your body are in sync, and so it creates really good, like perfect alignment. You're integrating. James, maybe you could say something on this.
Okay, well, I can, it's like this. It's I take it from a standpoint of the idea of light, and light is light. The standpoint of feeling light, LITE, there's a lightness. And when you're out on the earth and you're there, there's an alignment that happens, the shift of energy. Also, that the video that you're going to see is that when you're in this space of just movement and alignment, you literally become lighter. There's a bypass from the conscious mind into the super consciousness, and so and that you can feel the energy when you're in that state just flow in the body effortlessly, and you just follow the flow of the energy as it moves within you. So that's what I would explain it.
That's perfect. Thank you, James. And yes, I just feel fluid and just light, and I'm just observing it. And the body is doing all this posturing, and it's synchronized on both sides. And it's like a story. It's a story in energy. And so I wanted you to see this, and I really think that if you want to, it's a really great tool to integrate the energies, the mind, body, and soul, and to help you get fluid, your mind fluid, your body fluid, your emotions fluid, the energy fluid, all of that. And it was an amazing difference for me. Started doing it, I think a couple of years ago.
Well, I do have one more thing to say too. It's
Sure.
what
Go
I
ahead,
feel
James.
is that when we begin to start getting out of the monkey mind, this more into this relaxed state, it's almost like sitting deeply inside of your body. Normally, most people's awareness is not, it's either in their head, in their gut, outside of their body, projected in the future, projected in the past. It's not centered. It is not grounded in the right now moment and deeply seated into the self. Because when you feel that way, you first feel your heart-based awareness, and then the energy from that point in that space spreads out from the rest of your body, and you can begin to start feeling almost like every cell, it's a deeper awareness. Like the idea of light is information, and that the more light you bring into yourself, the more light you become, and it feels lighter, but you first have to be deep within the self to allow that, to become aware of that.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Yes, all of that. Thank you. All right, I'm just going to play and just watch him and feel him. He's so graceful. And so experience him in his beauty in your body, in your mind. So just become one with him and allow yourself to feel fluid. I think there's music on this. Is there, James? Okay.
We cannot hear the music, Beth.
Okay. Thank you.
So you may want to reshare and click the
Yep.
little.
Button on there.
Check.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Hmm. Isn't that beautiful? It is so beautiful. I can hardly sit still. Seriously, if you do this and you don't have to, there's no right way to do it, just do it in your bedroom. Just put on some sacred acoustic music, go in your body. That's your real reality. And be there. It's integrating you with your body, integrating your mind, your soul, the music, the movement, all of the postures, the breath. It's such a beautiful practice that will help you push you forward into this on this journey. And right now, the energies are so strong, and a lot of people are having a lot of emotional and physical symptoms, severe emotional and physical symptoms. And that is all of these energies that are coming in. And it really, it's the divine who loves you so deeply that it's willing to allow you to experience some pain that you may come home. And so we are being squished down the birth canal, and all of these energies, and everybody's reverberating, and all that's coming out, emotions, is all being squished out. But you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. There's lots of people who are here to help guide you, and call me, Faye Marie, anybody else, Zena, I'm sure, I don't know, anybody who just can talk to you and be you and reassure you that you're okay and help you understand what's happening and move you through this beautiful process so that you can birth your soul. I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful week. And I will see you next week. Go in peace.
Thank you, Beth. That was awesome.
Bye.
Thank you. That was really nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Love to everyone. Mwah.
Bye.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Bye, Cece. We're here for a reason. Stay. I love you.